Welcome, everybody, back to Rock On Studio Live. What's going on? It's Elwood. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and taking the time. I really appreciate it. And I know it's annoying, but make sure to click the subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. You can check out past interviews, over 50 episodes of this show now. I can't believe we've gone on this little run here, but it's all thanks to you. So appreciate you guys. Keep on sharing, keep on viewing, and hopefully enjoy yourself. Rock On Studio Live, the only show that lets you listen, watch, and engage with all of your favorite bands and artists and so much more. Past interviews over the last couple weeks, you want to get to know the new artist, 0936, a little bit more. It was great talking to him. Sam Carter, the lead singer of The Architects, who recently put out my favorite album of the year so far, For Those That Wish to Exist. If you have not dove into that yet, I highly suggest it. Plus, Andy Black of Black Veil Brides joined me last month. And we talked about the new Black Veil Brides record and Paradise City on Amazon Prime, the #1 streaming show there, continuing to knock it out. Got Ben Bruce from Asking Alexandria starring in that. Also Randy from Lamb of God. It's a great watch. 8 episodes live now on Amazon Prime, so check it all out. Before we get started today, just want to make a note. Paul Gray of Slipknot, he would have been 49 years old today. And just take some time, listen to some classic Slipknot later on, and just remember Paul, man. He was one of the greatest. And Corey Taylor joined me to not only talk about the CMF tour, but also Paul Gray, what he meant to Slipknot. So you can check out that video as well, just as long as you're subscribed. So hit up Rock On Studio Live on YouTube if you haven't done it yet, and definitely get it. All right, for today, I am so honored to have on my show. You know him from being behind the kit in arguably one of the most successful and biggest rock bands in the world, from Five Finger Death Punch. But a couple of years ago, he decided to step away from behind the kit after having back surgery. But now he's put down the drumsticks and he's put on the devil horns. Welcoming in to Rock On Studio Live, I give you the front man of the all-new band, Psychosexual. He's got the new single out, Devil from Hell. Welcome, one and all, Jeremy Spencer. How you doing, brother?
Great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you for all of your support of military, police, first responders. You have done so much over the years with Five Finger, yourself. You're even a reserve police officer, I believe, in Indiana. And I just thank you for so much you guys have done, from donations to bringing awareness and more. And that's something really close to you, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it started back with Five Finger Death Punch. We even, we toured in Iraq. We went there for a couple shows, and a couple times actually. And it was some of the coolest touring we've ever done, just to see the look on those guys' faces, just to have a bit of home there performing, it was really cool. And like the mosh pits were insane. I remember it was really fun, man. It was a once in a lifetime experience, but we actually got to do it twice. So it was pretty cool.
Who sets that up? Does management set that up? What kind of security is it like getting into a base in Iraq? Did you have a back line? Who the hell got the gear there?
Yeah, they do. They had some company rent the back line, and I remember thinking, these are maybe a little bit different drums than I'm used to playing, but I'll get through it. And we did. It was fun. The security was cool. Like, we had full body armor on when we were escorted around. You're in the armored cars, and it was cool, man. It was crazy.
A little bit different than getting escorted to a show in Vegas, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's awesome, man. And for anybody that doesn't know, you can check out the past. The band, Jeremy, everyone in it has just done so much. But now it's time to make things a little bit different. I fucking love this, man. This is such a great idea. It's awesome to hang up in studios. I love the idea of time to make rock radio dangerous again. I think it's a great fucking quote. And let's talk a little bit about it, man. So a couple years ago, you decided to step away from the band after having a back surgery. When did you say, I want to front my own band? Was this an idea you had for a couple of years and you just wanted to have the opportunity to jump out and do it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd always been writing songs and singing and listening back, going, that's cool. I maybe can do something with this at some point, put it out in some form or another. And it was more synth-based music, kind of like 80s new wave, Gary Newman meets Bowie, a Devo. Like, it was totally different. And I was like, man, I miss heavy music and I miss darker music. I want to put something together and do that. And so I started getting that itch to be in a band, you know. But I thought, I'm going to sing this time, and it'll be different, but I want the challenge. It's stimulating, it's fun, and I wanted to do something that's pretty theatrical and fun to look at and just be a spectacle. And I was like, well, what's the singer going to look like? I don't want to just be me standing up there singing songs. It's not, I mean, whatever. We've seen Normal a million times. Let's do something that's a little different. So, and I'd never seen a devil frontman. So I'm like, that's it. I'll just dress up like the devil.
It came out great, man. Is it a mask? Is it makeup? How long does it take to get into that?
It takes a little over an hour. Now we have it down to that. It's a partial prosthetic for like the nose and the eyes and the cheekbones, and then the rest is all airbrush. So it's intense and it takes a while. But like the first time I did it, not knowing what we were doing, it took like 6 hours. And
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, I can't do this. This isn't going to work. But now we got it down to under like, well, a little over an hour. So that's tolerable.
Yeah. I'd be like, if you start to go on tour, you put it on once and just change it out every 3 days. You got patches missing on one side. Like, just patch me up and put me back out there, turn the lights on.
Skin infections and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's worth it, man. Psychosexual, the debut band from Jeremy Spencer. The new single just dropped, Devil from Hell, which is out now, impacting rock radio all over the country. So I haven't got a chance yet. Check out the music video for sure. How much fun was it putting out the video from Devil from Hell? And the mindset putting that together? Was that your idea? Did you bring somebody in? Bring us through that.
It was my idea to do a saloon type of thing. And then the director I work with, Shane O'Neill, he's got a crazy mind too. So we both put our minds together and just came up with the stuff, you know, bar fights, and the horse was his idea, and that was cool. And it was just a lot of fun, minus the fact that it was, you know, 10 degrees where we shot it. But other than that, it was a great experience and everyone had fun. And those bar fight guys, man, they get into it. They do that every day. I'm like, you guys do this every day. How are you still walking, you know? But it was cool. I think we pulled it off.
Gives a whole new respect for WWE and all those guys going out there beating the shit out of themselves every day.
Fake or not, man, they're hitting the floor. That's not fake. They're hitting the floor, yeah.
And shout out to WWE bringing metal acts all weekend long for WrestleMania, man. It's about time. They've been pushing the NFL to do it. They won't budge, but wrestling. Nita Strauss playing the national anthem. They got Poppy out there rocking it. So big shout out to wrestling. I love you guys for all that. And Ozzy's going into the WWE Hall of Fame this weekend too. So I think that's fucking great.
That rules.
So what I want to bring up that I think is a hot topic right now, not so much for us, but for the public. So you come up, you have this band, Psychosexual, Devil Daddy, your alter ego, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen this. Rap artist and pop, I don't know what you call it, Lil Nas X. He basically blew up the internet and the world because he put out a song and a music video where he gave the devil a lap dance and he basically stole his horns and became the devil. All of a sudden, he's on CNN. Fox News is tearing him apart. The whole world wants to, oh my God, I can't believe he's putting out shoes with a Satan symbol on them. We can't have this in society. And then his song comes out and it debuts on #1. Like, we figured that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was a connection there where a lot of metal guys were like, come on over, dude. Like, everything's fine with us. I mean, the devil horns from Maiden, from Dio, Ozzy and Sabbath and all these rock bands. Why do you think in rock it's so much more accepted where the media is like, oh, it's the rock guys, they're fine. But one pop artist or rap artist just has a video with a devil and he makes headlines everywhere. Do you think there's a disparity when it comes to it?
I think that probably the fact that he's a gay artist, blatantly putting that, you know, doing the lap dance with the devil, that was pushing some extra buttons for people, more so than just we've been shocked by the devil before, but now we have a gay artist who's doing a lap dance on the devil. I think that may have freaked even more people out, but he's milking it brilliantly with the shoes. I mean, the guy's killing it. I think it's amazing what he's doing. I love it, man. I'm so thrilled that guy exists and that he's doing that stuff. It's awesome.
I thought it was great because he wouldn't back down. He basically said, "You guys made me feel like shit my entire life, and now I'm striking back and doing what I want. There's nothing you could do about it." And he's winning. He's
Yeah,
winning.
completely winning. Everyone's buying it hook, line, and sinker. I love it.
And every metal dude was like, "Wait a minute, I could have put out Satan shoes with a drop of human blood in it, and I never thought of that. Where the hell was marketing on that one, man?"
Brilliant marketing. I think that guy's great. Kudos to him for thinking that through, man. That's awesome.
I would just watch it. It was funny. I was like, we've been throwing devil horns at concerts forever. Nobody ever said anything. This guy does it once, and it's just like blown up. So what's next for Psychosexual? Are we going to see a tour? Are we going to see a record? Because you did something not a lot of artists do, and I know it wasn't huge knowledge, but you did talk about it a little bit. You actually put out a music video, put out songs, and then you took them all away and you started over again in a very short period of time. What was your mindset for that?
Well, we created the first thing, which was the first record, pretty fast, and I just kind of threw it up on Spotify. I didn't really promote it much. It was just let's get it out there. And then we kept writing because everyone's in quarantine. You couldn't tour. So we were writing and recording, and right away, Devil from Hell happened. I'm like, oh, man, this would have been the perfect song as the introductory piece to this band. And I'm like, we haven't even toured. Nobody even hardly knows about this. Let's just start over. So we pulled everything down, and now we're starting over with that. I'll probably bring back some of those other songs later down the road in some form or another. But I thought this was the perfect way to introduce the band. And now I put the song at radio and have a marketing team behind it. Like, I'm like, if I'm going to get back in the game, let's get all the way back in the game, and do it right. So, like I said, some of those other songs will probably see the light of day in some form or another down the line. But, it's not common what we did, but it was so new. It didn't even really matter. I didn't think literally within like 6 months, I was like, let's just start over.
Yeah, you could do it. You could do it. But you got to admit, having the experience you have from playing drums since you were 9 years old, right? At 17, you were in a band opening up for Pantera. You move to LA, you're jamming with all the biggest rock stars in LA. Then you get into Five Finger Death Punch and you become the biggest active rock band in the world. I mean, broken records at concerts all over the world. Now you're fronting your own band. You have all of this experience. Do you have more of a timeline in your head of how you want things to go because of the experiences you've had?
Absolutely. I mean, everything's kind of led me to where I am now. And I'm grateful for having each and every experience, good or bad, because it helps develop me. And I'm proud of where I'm at. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm stress-free. I'm healthy. I definitely have a plan and a timeline of how I want this to go. And I think I can pull it off. It'll be interesting to see if we do, but I certainly have the goals set out there for myself and for the band. And I can't wait to get started and do a proper tour. Every band wants to tour again. I mean, I'm whatever.
And all of us want to see them tour too. Trust me.
So this is also perfect because this is going to be something fun to see when people can get back out there. It's not going to be like everything else could be great, but also has been done a lot. Like, we've seen a lot of the same bands that are going to be touring again, but you haven't seen this band. So it's going to be cool,
That's awesome, man. And it's so great because with all the success you've had in your career already, you get to a point where you just go, I'm going to do what I want and I can, and I really don't care what other people think. I'm having a good time. I think this music is great. And it's great to have that freedom to be able to do that. You spent so much time behind the kit though. Is it weird going to a show and as a lead singer now, loading in and loading out is pretty easy compared to what you used to be doing?
I'll tell you what.
Now your call times are a whole lot better, right? It's like, well, is my microphone there? Am I good?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the call time would be better if I didn't have to do all this makeup. But
true, that's
I'll tell you what, we did a live stream show and we loaded all of our stuff in. I didn't think anything about it. I have a truck. I'm like, I'm back again as a youth loading my gear. Here we go. And we played this live stream show and it was weird. Like, the song would finish and you hear 4 people go, Yay. But you have to act like you're in an arena because you're on the internet. So that was a little weird. And that was our first show ever. But I don't know how many more of those live stream things we'll do. I guess we'll do them if we can't get out and tour, because that's the only way you can perform, right? So it was interesting. I'd never done that before. But I just want to get out in front of people and do this. It's going to be so much fun. And it's new and stimulating and exciting, even though it's only maybe 6 to 10 feet in front of where I used to be on the stage. It's going to be a totally different experience.
Hey, dude, you could be front row at a concert, but if you're row 10, you're not in the front row. So it's completely different. It's the same shit over and over again, man.
You're right. You're right.
But it's so awesome. So have you recorded a bunch more? Are we just running with the single for now, or do we have plans for a full record coming out?
The album is coming out May 14th, and it's called Unholy Hymns for the Children.
Unholy. Take that, media, and see what you want to do with that one.
Yeah, it's so May 14th everywhere. Yeah, we've been constantly working. We have multiple albums ready, like already in the can. So
wow.
Yeah, that's what we did during the quarantine time. It was time to get to work. I found, it was a horrible thing, but it was a blessing at the same time, because all I did was 5 to 6 days a week go to the studio and write and record songs. So
it was perfect.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of bands I've had on the show, and it went either way. Bands were like, my album's been done for a year and a half, and I'm just sitting here waiting to put it out. Or people have gone the other way and said, I've recorded 3 more EPs during the pandemic, so I'm waiting to put those out. And it's just, everyone's just waiting to flip the switch and let the floodgates open up. And then we can get back on the road.
My plan is to put out 2 albums a year, like Kiss used to do in the 70s, like once every 6 months.
Which is awesome, because now bands don't even want to do that. They just want to release a single.
Yeah,
6 months,
That's not my thing, man. I want to hold a record and stare at the cover and get the whole experience, and I want to not do what everyone else is doing. I remember when Kiss would release an album, I'm like, there's another one coming. I couldn't wait to get it. And that even, in Death Punch, we release an album, and 2 weeks later, people were like, love the album, man. When's the next one coming out? And we're like, how about you try to make the record? It's not exactly that easy, but
yeah. How about you let us tour a little bit? How about you enjoy these songs and let us learn how to play them live before we have to learn how to play anything else?
Or maybe could we sit on our couch for 10 minutes and then regroup and come back out? Yeah.
It's good to see all the guys from Five Finger doing a lot better, though. I can only imagine the stories you had. If you haven't read, Jeremy Spencer has a book out. Death Punched was the name of it, right? A couple of years ago. Surviving Five Finger Death Punch. I mean, between the stories of addiction and battles on the road and all of that success. Oh, thanks, Todd. Read it twice. Must have loved it. But being out on the road and having all those stories, it's good to see. As you said before we started, is that Chris? Yeah. It's good. It's good to see Chris doing better. It's good to see Ivan doing better. Do you still talk to the guys? Are you still in contact?
Yeah, I talk to Jason like every day, every other day. He's my neighbor, and Chris and we're always joking with each other constantly on text all the time. And he's a Kentucky basketball fan, so he had a rough year. And I'm an Indiana fan, and we had a rough year too. But now we have a new coach, so there's always some good ribbing going on there. But yeah, we're in touch with each other from time to time. Everyone's kind of busy doing their own thing, though, so it's not like every day, hey, what are you guys doing today? We're not in our 20s. We're pushing 50 now, so we kind of have our own lives and just do our own thing,
Yeah, just tell everybody. Do you know how much time we spent together? Do you know what it's like touring with a band and recording a record? You see enough of each other. Jeremy said before we got on that Chris pulled a prank on him once on a tour bus. He opened up and boom, giant poster of Chris right in his face. So I'm sure you've seen each other, you guys, enough on the road.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was sticking right by my pillow, so I left it there the whole tour. Chris was in my just in my bunk.
So from touring the whole world with the band, I think it's known knowledge. It's a fact, right? Metal and hard rock are a lot bigger when it comes to being overseas. When you've gotten to tour Germany and all throughout Europe, Why do you think hard rock and metal is so much more accepted overseas rather than here in the States? Now, I know in Five Finger you headlined all the biggest festivals. You had arena shows, you had stadium shows. They were on top of their game. But overall, when it comes to radio play, club shows, what makes Europe so much more accepting of hard rock than it does here?
I'm not so sure that they have radio like we do here, which kind of dictates what's happening. And active rock market is a little bit smaller than the pop and hip hop market. Actually, it's a lot smaller. So that's reaching way more people. So that's what's popular. Over there, it's not so much. They don't have like their local radio station. I mean, there'll be an internet station or something, but I just think that they latch onto metal and they follow it and they're loyal, and that's it. They've chosen their band and they support their movement. And that's how it is. It's different here because you're force fed what they want you to have, where it's not that way there.
Just a dedication. I think that when rock was so dominant here, the 80s hair metal, the grunge that was so big, you know what we saw back then? We saw rock stars in Pepsi commercials. We saw rock stars all over magazine covers. We had posters of them in our rooms. We saw them everywhere. You don't see that. Who were on the commercials? Cardi B, the Chance the Rapper. The rappers and pop stars have taken over marketing when it comes to media worldwide. You know what I mean? So I think we need to get rock stars back getting major deals and putting them in the front and getting people to know their faces again. You know, it's sad to me that people have their favorite bands and a band member could walk right by and no one would even know. No one would even know it was there.
Yeah, you trip over them on the sidewalk and not know who it is. And that's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to have some elements of danger or a rock star that sticks out as being the bad guy or your hero. You know, it's just not like that. There's no Aussies out there. You know, I mean, where are they? It's in rap.
I know they're there. I know everyone got mad when Kanye said, I'm the biggest rock star in the world. And everyone's like, but he had a point. He literally was the biggest face. He was doing whatever he wanted, good or bad. He was covering it. And which brings me back. It's time to make rock radio dangerous again. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. This time to make it dangerous, dude. And I love that. Is that are you wearing a Max Sabbath t-shirt?
I am, dude. I love this band.
Oh, man. The video of Ozzy seeing them the first time, I almost died. That was one of the greatest videos you could ever see if anybody hasn't seen it yet.
I saw him live and they come out and he's in the Ronald character smacking two spatulas together in time. I think it's so great, man.
That's awesome, man. All right. So if you haven't checked them out yet, Psychosexual, the new band from Jeremy Spencer. Check out the new single, Devil from Hell, which is out now, impacting rock radio all across America. So if you haven't checked it out, download it, stream it. You can go to Jeremy Spencer's socials. You can check them out on the website. And I'll share that music video up on Rock On Studio Live and all the socials as well. If you haven't seen it, it's a mini movie and it's so worth it. It introduces you. It introduces Devil Daddy so well. It's a great watch. And I can't wait to see what's next from you, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on, too. This is great. And thanks for playing the song.
I love it, man. My name is Elwood. This is Rock On Studio Live. And that's fucking Jeremy Spencer. Check out Psychosexual. We'll talk to you guys next time. Stay safe.
You too.